Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and we're doing another homebrew exchange. This is exchange number, I don't know. I don't even care. But this is from a guy named Sam in Washington State. And he gets his hands on some hop hash, which I thought was fascinating. He was going to send us some, but he sent us this beer for now. And this is what he calls a rye-ish stout. So not an Irish stout, a rye-ish stout, because he does use some rye malts in his grain bill, and he is using some of the hop hash for bittering. So Mike, I know you're a big stout kind of guy, and I'm not talking about your stature.
Oh,
talking about more of your preferences in the dark beers here. So why don't you think about this that Sam sent us from around, like actually across the country, which is not inexpensive to do.
We appreciate it.
We definitely thank you for that.
Well, it's he was going for something Irish stout inspired with a starting gravity of 1044. So, man, it is dry, which I appreciate, despite the fact that there's 3/4 of a pound of Crystal 40 in here and half a pound of Crystal 120. It's actually pretty dry. That's interesting. So, an ingredient I don't have a whole lot of experience with is rye malt. This beer has got chocolate rye in it, and he uses stout malt, which is cool stuff. I haven't used it yet, but I've wanted to use it, so this is kind of fun.
Yeah, because there's like a nice restrained roastiness to it. I'm guessing some of that's coming from, of course, the roasted barley, but I wonder if that's also the rye, and then I'd love to chew on some stout malt just to get a better understanding of that too.
Yeah, it's so like I said, there's a dryness, but there's a distinct toasted character. It's toasty. It finishes with a roasted malt punch.
Yeah,
but it's not super aggressive. I wouldn't say it's not really ashy. It's like almost there. But there's a very unique taste to it, and the only thing I can ascribe that to, because I have no experience with it, it has to be the rye malt.
yeah.
He did say that there's 4 ounces of flaked oats in here, which he pre-toasted. He had heard from some YouTube channel people toasting oat malt and stouts.
Maybe it's us.
Who knows where he heard that?
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. I think it adds some depth, some intrigue to the character overall when you do that in your stouts. I like it. I really enjoy it. It's actually it's a pretty good drinker. I mean, if this beer was bigger, I don't know if I would work my way through a whole pint of it, just because I like dry stout, but it's fascinating the dryness of this beer, despite those other ingredients. It's smooth. It's rich. I like it. It's almost like there's like a nuttiness to it.
Yeah, that's another thing that I'm
like Brazil nut. I mean, it's like, just to be specific.
Of course. So what about the hop hash?
Is definitely nice, like a crackery thing going on.
Is that something you can pull out of this? I mean, there's a little bit. It's a half ounce of hop hash that you use at 60 minutes in the boil. So
for half an ounce, even 24 alpha acid supposedly on the hop hash, I don't know. 40 IBUs, and it's super balanced with the rest of the beer. It's hard to pull it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a good way.
It's balanced with all the rest of the things that are going on.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like a hoppy finish in there, but it's really weaves in pretty well with the roasted malt and in that dry quality again.
Yep. So I think the only real other experience we have with homebrewed rye beers, we did have a viewer send us a rye PA. Do you remember that?
Yep.
I think that there's some qualities that I remember from that beer that got pulled through to this.
Yep.
So, pretty good.
Yeah, I love this imperial yeast, the darkness imperial yeast. I gotta look that one up too. It's pretty good stuff.
What's the yeast producer on that?
Imperial yeast.
Imperial yeast. and they make something called Darkness. That's the name of the yeast strain.
Yeah, I mean the yeast character is pretty clean and straightforward.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of an ester quality to it, but it's not strong. And it's a pretty good attenuating yeast. So
Yeah, getting just a little bit of like a cereal off the nose there.
Yep.
Very
Yeah,
good beer.
I like the cracker quality, the Brazil nut thing, and then there's a chocolateness.
Yeah, all the things you'd find in another dry stout. It's there too.
Yeah.
Great.
Well done.
Well, thanks, Sam. Appreciate the shipment, and as always, we appreciate free beer. So we'll take it. Thanks for sending it along. And if other people have questions about how to brew a rye stout, please leave them below. Like and subscribe to our channel. We do this every week because we just love, drinking beer and homebrewing beer, and we'll get into videoing our own homebrew process. We got things like a sour beer to like mix in and stuff, and
Stuff coming down the pipe.
yeah, I got some more lagers that I should be showing off too. So thanks for all your support. We appreciate it. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Brew on.
Cheers.